Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true honor to be standing here before you today. We're all gathered here because we want something better for ourselves, and I want to share with you one simple but powerful thought. You can work on yourself. If you take nothing else from today, take that truth with you. It's not a one-time event, it's a continuous process that will change your life forever. One of the most critical steps in working on yourself is taking responsibility. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful actions you can take in your life. For many people, it's easy to fall into the habit of blaming others or external circumstances when things don't go the way they expect. We've all been there at some point, right? It's easier to point the finger at the economy, our upbringing, our job, or the people around us than it is to look inward and recognize the role we play in shaping our lives. However, the truth is that no one is coming to save you. You are the captain of your own ship, and it's up to you to steer it in the direction you want to go. When you take full responsibility for where you are in life, whether it's good or bad, you empower yourself to make changes and take control. When you stop blaming others or making excuses, you stop giving away your power. You free yourself to make real progress. Taking responsibility means recognizing that your choices and actions have led you to this point. Everything that's happened in your life, the successes, the failures, the good days and the bad, all trace back to decisions you've made along the way. It's not easy to look at life through that lens because it requires honesty, humility, and a willingness to confront your own mistakes. But when you can do that, you unlock the power to move forward. Too often, people feel stuck because they are waiting for something external to change. They might be waiting for the right opportunity, the perfect timing, or the right person to come into their lives and make things better. But the reality is, those things are not coming. And if you keep waiting, you'll find yourself stagnant, frustrated, and disappointed. The key is realizing that the change starts with you. This doesn't mean that bad things don't happen to us or that we can control every aspect of our lives. Life is full of challenges and unforeseen circumstances. But when you take responsibility for how you respond to those challenges, you gain the ability to decide how you move forward. It's all about your attitude and your actions. How do you respond when things get tough? Do you get discouraged, or do you take a deep breath and look for the lesson or opportunity in the situation? By taking responsibility, you also embrace the fact that you are the architect of your future. Every step you take, every decision you make builds the foundation for where you will be tomorrow. It's empowering to realize that the life you want is within your reach, but it requires you to take the initiative. You have to ask yourself, what am I willing to do today to create the future I desire? What habits, choices, and actions am I taking that are either helping me or holding me back? Taking responsibility is not about perfection, it's about accountability. It's about saying, I may not be where I want to be yet, but I'm committed to doing what it takes to get there. It means owning your mistakes without letting them define you. Instead of using failure as an excuse to quit, use it as motivation to keep going. When you stop blaming and start taking responsibility, you'll find that doors begin to open and opportunities appear that were always there, waiting for you to recognize them. In the end, taking responsibility is the first step toward true personal growth. It sets the stage for everything else. Setting goals, building confidence, learning from your mistakes, and achieving success. When you take ownership of your life, you become unstoppable. And that's the foundation upon which all other personal development rests. Taking responsibility is not just about accepting blame or acknowledging past mistakes. It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your future. Too often, people spend their lives pointing fingers, blaming circumstances, or waiting for things outside of their control to change. But the truth is, you are the common denominator in all aspects of your life. Whether you're struggling or succeeding, it's your choices and your mindset that ultimately dictate the outcome. When you take full responsibility, you embrace the reality that your current situation is the result of your past decisions. It doesn't matter if those decisions were made out of ignorance, fear, or pure chance. What matters is that you are in control of the choices you make moving forward. In order to truly take responsibility, you must stop making excuses. Excuses are often a defense mechanism, a way to protect ourselves from discomfort or failure. They allow us to avoid the hard work required for growth. But the more excuses you make, the more you distance yourself from your true potential. When you make excuses, you give away your power and stop taking ownership of your life. You're essentially saying, I can't do anything about my situation. But the moment you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You realize that you have the ability to change your circumstances, regardless of how challenging they may seem. This shift in perspective can be life-changing, as it allows you to focus on what you can do, not what's beyond your control. And once you focus on your actions, you'll find that your confidence, resilience, and self-awareness grow stronger with each step. Equally important to taking responsibility is setting clear goals. Without a roadmap, it's easy to get lost or feel overwhelmed. Goals give you direction and purpose, allowing you to focus your energy on achieving what truly matters. However, setting goals isn't just about writing down a list of things you want to accomplish. It's about making sure those goals align with your values, your passions, and your purpose. Too often, people set goals based on external expectations or societal pressures. They chase success without ever asking themselves what success actually means to them. This can lead to a life filled with dissatisfaction, as they find themselves working tirelessly towards something that doesn't even resonate with their soul. When you set goals, make sure they are specific, measurable, and most importantly, meaningful to you. They should reflect what you truly want to achieve, not what someone else wants for you or what you think you're supposed to do. For example, instead of setting a vague goal like, I want to be successful, reframe it into something actionable, such as, I want to build a career in marketing by taking a course, networking with industry professionals, and gaining practical experience. The more detailed your goals, the clearer your path becomes. Setting goals also involves breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. This is important because large, overwhelming goals can often lead to procrastination. When you break your goals into bite-sized tasks, you create a sense of momentum and achievement, making the process feel more attainable. It's easy to get discouraged when a goal feels too far away or too complex, but by focusing on the next small step, you keep your mind on what you can do today to move forward. Another key aspect of goal setting is flexibility. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and sometimes you'll need to adjust your goals along the way. Don't be afraid to pivot or reassess if things aren't working out as expected. The ability to adapt is essential for long-term success, as it allows you to stay on track without becoming frustrated by unforeseen challenges. The journey to achieving your goals is rarely linear, but the important thing is that you remain committed and keep your eyes on the bigger picture, even when the road gets bumpy. By taking responsibility and setting clear, actionable goals, you create a foundation for success. It's about becoming the architect of your own life making intentional choices, and building a future based on your values, not the expectations of others. This process may take time, but with dedication and consistency, you will start to see results that reflect your effort. Taking responsibility is the starting point of any meaningful change. It's about understanding that you are the driver of your life and accepting that everything, good or bad, happens because of your actions or inaction. When you take responsibility, you stop blaming external circumstances or other people for where you find yourself. Instead, you look in the mirror and say, I got here because of the decisions I've made. The moment you acknowledge this fact, you shift from being a passive observer of your life to an active participant in your growth. This realization can be incredibly empowering because it puts you back in control. You may not have control over every situation, but you have control over how you respond to them. By taking ownership, you give yourself the power to learn from your mistakes and make better decisions in the future. This in turn opens up a world of possibilities for improvement, self-discovery, and success. When you accept responsibility, you stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. You develop the ability to adapt, overcome, and move forward, regardless of what challenges life presents. In addition to taking responsibility, developing the right mindset is a crucial component of personal growth. Mindset is everything. It's the lens through which you view the world, and it shapes your attitudes, beliefs, and ultimately your actions. The power of your mindset cannot be overstated. A positive, growth-oriented mindset allows you to tackle challenges head-on with optimism, creativity, and resilience. On the other hand, a fixed mindset can keep you stuck in a rut, constantly doubting your abilities and avoiding challenges for fear of failure. To cultivate a mindset that propels you forward, you need to replace negative self-talk with affirmations of possibility and potential. Rather than thinking, I can't do this, shift your thoughts to, I can figure this out. Instead of focusing on your limitations, concentrate on your strengths. Reframing your inner dialogue is a powerful tool that can rewire your brain to think more positively and productively. A growth mindset also involves seeing failure not as a setback, but as a stepping stone toward improvement. It's about viewing mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to quit. When you make this mental shift, failure becomes less intimidating and you begin to embrace it as a necessary part of your journey. Developing a growth mindset also means staying curious and always looking for ways to improve. It's about seeking out knowledge, being open to new experiences, and challenging yourself to step out of your comfort zone. This willingness to grow, learn, and adapt is what will carry you forward on the path to success. Another essential aspect of working on yourself is taking consistent action. Too often, people have grand dreams and big plans, but they fall short because they don't follow through. Ideas without action are just that, ideas. The difference between someone who achieves their goals and someone who doesn't is their ability to consistently put in the work. It's easy to be motivated when you're inspired, but the real growth happens in the moments when inspiration wanes. And you have to rely on discipline and persistence. This is where small, daily steps make all the difference. You don't need to accomplish everything at once, but you do need to take at least one action every day that moves you closer to your goal. Whether it's reading a chapter of a book, making a phone call, or working on a project, every small step adds up over time and propels you toward your desired outcome. Taking action also involves embracing the discomfort that comes with progress. Growth is rarely comfortable. Whether it's learning a new skill, stepping into a new role, or facing your fears, it often requires you to step outside your comfort zone. But it's in those moments of discomfort that true transformation occurs. By pushing yourself to act despite the fear or uncertainty, you begin to build momentum and resilience, making future challenges easier to handle. Remember, consistent action is not about perfection. It's about showing up every day, doing the best you can, and staying committed to your goals. It's this consistency that leads to long-term success, even if the path seems slow or difficult at times. By taking responsibility, developing a growth mindset, and taking consistent action, you set the stage for continuous improvement. Each of these key steps builds upon the others, creating a powerful cycle of personal development. As you become more accountable, shift your mindset, and take meaningful steps toward your goals, you'll begin to see real changes in your life. Taking responsibility is the cornerstone of personal growth, and without it, none of the other steps matter. The idea is simple yet transformative. You are in charge of your life, your decisions, and your results. When you embrace responsibility, you stop looking outside of yourself for explanations or excuses. Instead, you acknowledge that your present situation is a reflection of the choices you've made. This isn't about self-blame or dwelling on mistakes. It's about acknowledging your role in shaping your life. You understand that while you can't control everything, you have control over how you respond and what actions you take next. This mindset is empowering because it shifts your focus from external circumstances to what you can actually change: your behavior, mindset, and actions. When you stop blaming others or circumstances for your struggles, you start realizing that you can move forward regardless of what has happened. Taking responsibility is liberating because it allows you to recognize your power and potential. Once you accept that you have a hand in creating your reality, you become the person who makes things happen rather than the one waiting for them to happen. Another critical step in working on yourself is developing the right mindset. Your mindset shapes your reality and can either propel you forward or hold you back. A positive, growth-oriented mindset is one that believes challenges are opportunities for growth, not threats to be avoided. It's the mindset that embraces learning, even in the face of failure. When you have a growth mindset, you look at obstacles as chances to develop resilience and wisdom. On the flip side, a fixed mindset often leads to stagnation. Those with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are limited and unchangeable, which leads to self-doubt and fear of taking risks. To develop a mindset that empowers you, you need to train yourself to believe in your potential. Instead of thinking you're not good enough, start affirming your abilities and focusing on the ways you can improve. Replace the thoughts of limitation with those of possibility. This means focusing on what you can control and believing that every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. A growth mindset encourages curiosity, a willingness to try new things, and a belief that mistakes are part of the learning process. By consciously shifting your thinking to embrace challenges as opportunities, you not only grow in skill, but also build confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. Taking consistent action is another essential component of personal growth. Dreams and goals are meaningless without action. It's easy to get excited about an idea or vision for your life, but the real work begins when you take the first step, and then another, and another. Progress happens in small increments, not in giant leaps. This means that even on days when you don't feel motivated or inspired, you still show up and do the work. Consistency is key. It's the small daily actions that accumulate over time and lead to significant results. When you take consistent action, You build momentum, and that momentum keeps you going even through